Okay, I will start the webinar. Okay, I'll begin the webinar.
Yep.
Right. Hi, everybody. How are you? So we're going to begin the webinar in a bit, so in a short while. So going to give some time for all the participants to get in. So if you can hear my voice clearly, please type yes in the chat box. Okay, great. Thank you, Nurul. Thank you. All right, thank you, Anna, Suraya. Thank you, Parames. Thank you, Rahana, and thank you, everyone, for the good, well response. And I would like, first of all, I would like to thank everybody at here for joining us today. You know, it's a good step ahead for joining this because you get to learn a lot of things. Yeah, you get to learn a lot of things in this webinar. First, you're going to learn how the importance of investing in order for you to achieve a goal, especially for a woman. And then next, you can can identify the factor on how investing can able to assist us, especially a woman, to achieve financial independence. And also, our speaker today, we're going to talk about 7 golden rules, especially when you want to invest stock directly. So, hi everyone, my name is Shaz. I'm your moderator for today's session. So today's session's topic name is Women and Investing in 2022. So this webinar is brought to you by Bursa Malaysia and in collaboration with M+ Online. So before I begin the webinar, let me share with you the contest that you can win easily 800 ringgit. What you need to do is very simple. You need to create 1-minute video. The title is What Inspired You the Most? So you need to tell us what inspired you to start investing and what inspired you to, to continue investing. So this one, you can just create the video, you just stop, and then you upload the video in the YouTube. So you need to send the URL of the video to Bursa Malaysia, engage@bursamarketplace.com. The deadline is 6th January 2023, which is next year, and 11:59 p.m. Even though it's next year, but you got another month to join this contest. So the earlier is much better because you can gather a lot of likes. So your video will be published and presented on the page within 2 working days from the date received. So the top 5 video with the most like will each receive 800 ringgit. So the terms and condition apply. So before I pass this webinar to the speaker, so let me read the disclaimer before we begin. First thing first, as you know that we only, whatever the information we given in this webinar is only for the education purpose only. So all participants, you need to seek the independent advice or consult the relevant laws, regulation and rules prior to relying or taking any action based on the information presented. So all example and view is entirely the presenter's own. Bursa Malaysia Berhad and the presenter do not accept any liability for the information provided during the presentation and also for the presentation slides, and also for any investment or trading decision made on the basis of this information. So let me introduce you one of our speaker today. It is Miss Priscilla Yong. Hi, Miss Priscilla Yong.
Hi, Shaz. Hi, everyone.
How are you? Okay, before I pass to you, let me introduce who is the Miss Priscilla Yong. So Miss Priscilla Yong is the financial planner manager at Mula Advisory Sdn Bhd. So Miss Priscilla Young here is graduated with the Bachelor of Finance and Investment from TAR-UC, Tunku Abdul Rahman University College. So she's one of the member of the Financial Planning Association Malaysia, which is FPAM, since 2014. And she's also a financial planner, which is Certified Financial Planner, which is CMSRL, licensed financial planner, and also a certified trainer with a HRD Corporation. So let's welcome Miss Priscilla Young. Hi, Miss Priscilla. I will pass the control back to you.
Yes, thank you very much.
All the best.
Thank you. Let me share my screen for a bit. Share screen. Give me a moment. Okay, so today we are going to talk about women and investing in 2022. Okay, so can everyone see my screen? If you can see my screen, can you type 1 in the chat box? Just type 1 in the chat box and then let me know that you can see my screen. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, thanks for the response. Now, today we are going to solely talk about why is it important for women to start investing. And also, I can see some in the chat box is that it's not just women today, it's a mix of both female and male as well. So you can take stock on what is the importance of investing as well for male, okay? So a little bit of introduction, okay, like what Shaz introduced, that my name is Priscilla Young and I'm actually a licensed financial planner, which is licensed by Securities Commission Malaysia. And I am currently under Mula Advisory Sdn Bhd. It is actually a subsidiary company under M+ Online, where they undertake financial planning business. So here are some of my credentials. I'm not going to dwell a lot about it, and I'm just going to go straight to our topic. So first thing first, okay, investing in the stock market, right, it's been becoming a society norm, especially in the year 2020. When the pandemic starts, we all thought that, okay, it's not going to go good because of pandemic, of uncertainties and things like that. But surprisingly, that's where the stock market started to boom, where you can actually hear everyone talking about investing in the stock market and making good money from it. You can even hear people from, like, suddenly those people that you know that they don't invest suddenly started investing in it. And on top of that, there has also been an upward trend of women investing in stock market, be it a homemaker, okay, housewife or a working woman. There has been definitely a shift in mindset when it comes to generating wealth and achieving financial independence among women as compared to a few years back, where majority of the women rely on their other half to make financial decisions. Now, it is completely normal that you might want to start investing in stock market, but you are not sure about it, you're a bit afraid, okay, to how to begin your first step in investing. Now, in this session for today, this is going to be a short 1 hour session. I will probably end around 1:50, 1:45, and then we can take any Q&A after that. So in this session, you will learn bits and pieces on the impact of investments as compared to the traditional method of savings, and also to protect your money to be corroded from inflation. And what are the things that you need to take note? Okay, it's actually important for you to take charge of your money. Now, what you will learn, okay, in this short period of time is that, okay, the importance of investing, whether it's women or for a male, okay, and also identify the factors on how investing will be able to assist us as a woman to achieve financial independence. And also, we'll talk about 7 golden rules when it comes to investing stocks directly. And this is the agenda for today. We'll talk about some importance of investing. Checklist before you invest. What are the investment options in the market in Malaysia? Investing in equities, what does it really mean? We'll give you some foundation about it, and how to start your investment journey. Now, there's been a lot of saying is that, okay, women are less likely to invest than men, and that is a problem. According to some research, okay, an investment platform created by Women for Women, and of all the assets controlled by women, right, more than 70% is actually in cash, which also means to say women tends to hold cash and they don't invest it. Okay, statistically speaking, women are less likely to invest, and even those who do invest tend to wait until they are older to start. Okay, most women don't think they know enough about investing and to properly grow their savings. Therefore, they will wait until they start investing, until they feel more financially stable and believe they can risk. They believe that they can risk the possibility of losing money. Now, a common misconception around investing is that you have to be an expert in the industry to succeed, correct? Where the reality is actually that there are so many other tools and resources that will make easy to start investing with as little as a pocket change. Now, why is it that we should invest? First thing first, okay, of course, it is to grow your wealth lah. We want to make our money work harder for you, because if you are just going to put it in a savings account, okay, for example, okay, this will be impacted by inflation. We have all for this year and also last year, we actually realize the impact of inflation towards our wealth. So it is important that you grow your wealth and not just put your money inside the bank account, because bank account will not give you returns. Okay, so let's say your bank account gives you, let's say 0%, don't give you anything, or maybe something less than 1%. That is very common in our savings account or current account. But inflation has been always since 1960s around 3%. So on average around 3%. These days a little bit higher than that. So can you imagine if you continue to put your money in the bank account and savings account, the money, the value with it will be affected. Okay, so this is why it's important that you should invest, which is to beat inflation as well. Okay, and then also after that, to reach financial goals. All of us here, I'm pretty sure we all have financial goals, be it to buy a car, buy a house, setting up a children education fund. These are the things. So if you were to say you want to reach those financial goals, and if you want to save, okay, instead of investing, you want to save in your FD, in your savings account, it is actually going to be difficult because of the impact again in inflation. Inflation is actually the villain here when it comes to long-term periods where we talk about how it will affect the impact of our money. So it's important that you will need to invest to reach your financial goal, because if you're just putting $1 to $1, then of course you will need to save much more as compared to if you started investing. Okay, it will be able to fast track your investment to reach your financial goal. This one I will show with you later on, the impact and the difference of savings as well as investment. And also it is important, now this topic today we are emphasizing about women and investing. It is important for us as women, okay, to achieve financial equality and independence. Okay, so I myself is a financial planner. So in my household, me and my husband, I'm actually the one deciding how we should be investing our money, and also how we supposed to allocate our fund based on our goals, our buying a house, or buying a car, or even our retirement fund. Okay, so I will tell him how to do his and then monitor his as well, and I will do it my own as well. So this is actually for us as a woman to have financial independence. We do not want to rely on our other half for them to help us to do it. So we will need to equip ourselves with those knowledge, okay, for us to understand and also grab this opportunity and also the chance for us to do it ourselves, so that if anything were to happen to your other half, at least you are still in control with your money. Yesterday, this one I can share you from experience. I have a client that I spoke to yesterday. She mentioned that, okay, she have a retirement goal and as well as her children education fund priority lah. So she told me, is it possible that, okay, my husband handle all my retirement goals and then also I will handle the children's education part? it is common that some of you might have this thinking as well. But do you understand the danger? What if, right, your other half is no longer here, and all this while they have been in charge of your retirement fund? Suddenly they're not here, then who is the one that is going to continue invest towards your retirement? Because you have been solely focusing on the children. So it's important that you handle your own retirement, he handles his own retirement fund, and then manage accordingly. Okay, this is the importance of us as a woman to have financial independence and why we should actually invest. Now, so these are the goals that we mentioned. Like, for example, short-term goals, you might want to build emergency fund, you want to buy a car, you want to buy a house or get married. And also, these are some common long-term goals. But I want to focus on one particular goal for this session, which is building a nest egg for retirement, and why. While some of you may have different goals than others, no matter who you are, at some point, due to physical limitation, we may not be able to work anymore, and we have to enter a period of life called retirement. Okay, so let's talk about retirement first. And retirement, actually, you have to understand that you actually decide your own fate. Whether you want a comfortable retirement or a not so comfortable retirement, actually all depends on what you are going to do today. Now, I'm going to start with saying some 7 misconceptions about retirement planning, where a lot of people think that time is actually on your side. You might be thinking that, okay, I just started working, I'm only 24, so still got a long way to go. I want to retire at 50 years old, 60 years old, no big deal, no need to worry. But you know that time is actually a double-edged sword. So you need to make time work hard for you. Because if you, let's say, you want to achieve 1 million in 30 years time, okay, so that would mean to say you only need to invest about, let's say, 600 ringgit per month for the next 30 years at 9% return. But if you want to start it at later, let's say 40 years old or 50 years old, then with the same amount of investment, you will need to wait 30 years to reach that amount. So that would mean to say you need to start as soon as possible, be it 100 ringgit, 200 ringgit. Most important thing is that you need to start investing soon, okay? And another one is that, you think that you're too old, why would anyone my age want to even try, okay? You might be thinking that, I'm 40 years old already. I'm going to retire at 60 years old, so 20 years, too old already, don't bother lah, okay? But again, this one from one of my clients, she recently also recently widowed, okay, and no investment, nothing at all, only EPF. So after helping her to calculate her retirement goals and also her children education fund, she realized that, hey, actually it is a worrying situation, and if she wants to retire, she actually have to put much more effort as compared to someone that just started working. So this is the reason why that you still can invest when you're older, but the effort, the amount that you need to invest will be much more. Okay, and a lot of people about a worrying situation is that you think you have already secured retirement funds in your bank accounts and also in fixed deposit, as we already know that actually fixed deposit and bank savings account, especially bank savings account, is not even able to cushion the impact of inflation. So you will need to definitely invest for it. And most common thing right now, I work hard to earn my money and I want to enjoy my money now. This is very common these days. You can see in current situation where if you go to Pavilion, KL, you can see people lining up in front of Louis Vuitton, Dior, Cartier, as if, I don't know whether they have a lot of money or not. Maybe they have a lot of money, but I can see a lot of youngsters that is queuing up and buying all these things. They could be using all their savings to go for that, okay? And they don't even they don't prioritize on their retirement or any of the financial goals. I have this one friend. I know exactly how much she earns, okay? I mean, I'm not judging, but she recently went to London and then she buys all branded bags. I'm not judging that, okay, she shouldn't buy things like that. She should actually reward herself once in a while. But when I asked her if she does retirement on the side, she said retirement planning or any investment planning or things like that. She said none. She don't do it because she thinks that she wants to enjoy her money now. And this is exactly the problem Malaysian is facing right now. And if this continues, this financial planning awareness, this investment awareness is still lacking behind, I would think that when 20, 30 years down the road, when they are going to retire, it is going to be tough on their second generation, or they might have to continue to work when they retire. And that is definitely a worrying situation that every one of us should definitely avoid to do so. And the fifth one is that a lot of people think that EPF is actually sufficient for them. And later on, I will tell you that actually it is not. Okay, and also this is a very common thing that people want to set children education fund first over their retirement funds. Basically, they want to sacrifice their retirement funds for giving the best education for the children. And a lot of people think that you need to study the ins and outs of investing. Now, let's talk about some statistics, okay, of EPF. This is a worrying state, as actually 97% of EPF members can't afford to retire. And 6.6 million of them has less than 10,000 in savings, and 3.2 million have 1,000, less than 1,000 in savings. This is definitely a worrying, very sad situation for a lot of Malaysians. Okay, and this is also because since pandemic, okay, there has been a lot of withdrawal that has been allowed by the government for them to put some food on the money. Okay, but some of them, from what I hear from my clients as well, they take out the money and then they buy luxurious stuff that is not their necessity. So this is something that the financial planning awareness is not strong among Malaysian, and they still think that okay, I take out this money, this is my own money, so I should use it. But they always forgot that EPF is actually for your retirement. So this is even worrying if those people that withdraw it, they do not have their own investments for their retirement, okay, that they rely completely for EPF. This is not a ideal situation, and everyone should definitely try not to withdraw, okay, unnecessarily lah, okay. Because why is it important to stay protected? Let's stay prepared for retirement is because on the left, you can see where this person's income is in green all this while before retirement was higher than his expenses. He always spends lesser than what he earned. Okay, and even after retirement, his investment portfolio can then now start generating enough income to sustain their lifestyle. But if he doesn't have enough retirement wealth to generate enough income, after he retire, then his new income level would then be far below his expenses line. Now, he will then have to make two choices, which is to sell down his investment or to reduce his expenses down below what he was previously comfortable with, or he can consider to retire later. And this is something that we definitely want to avoid. All of us want to retire comfortably, correct? Now, let's talk about the impact of inflation and also your retirement funds. Okay, retirement funds. So let's assume, okay, everyone here, when you retire, you want to spend about 10,000 ringgit per month, okay, for your expenses down the line. This is among my 700 customers, I think an average amount. Most of them want to spend around 7,000 to 8,000 ringgit, but then I play it a little bit higher, okay, because you will still have some unexpected expenses. Let's say major car repair or major house repair, or you might want to change a new car, or you might want to go for holidays, things like that. So 10,000 should be a safe side lah, okay? So this is actually the impact of inflation. Should you want to spend 10,000 a month, okay, which is 120,000. So let's say assuming 3% inflation. If you are 20 years old, okay, 20 years old right now, okay, let's not use 20 years old, let's just 30 years old lah. Usually 30 years old right now among the audience over here, 30 years old. the same 120,000 that the purchasing power right now, right? 120,000, when you are 60 years old, is going to be 291,000. This is the impact of inflation towards the money. Means to say your money is getting smaller. Okay, your money is getting smaller day by day because of inflation. The same 120,000 now is going to be the same 291,000 later on. Okay, so this is just an estimation based on 3% inflation lah. Let's assuming we use 3% for our future calculation. Okay, if you want to use 10,000 per month and you are currently 30 years old, by 60 years old, right? And for this fund to sustain until you are reached 80 years old, you will need at least 4.8 million to do so. You will need 4.8 million to retire at 60 years old. Okay, and this 4.8 million can only last you until 80 years old. And provided that this 4.8 million is able to generate 5% return when you retire. How to generate 5% return when you retire? Either through investing in dividend yield stocks or putting remaining of it inside EPF. These are some of the options lah. Now, let's talk about it and how much do you need to invest monthly to achieve these retirement targets. So as you can see here, we use this example, 30 years old, 4.8 million. If you continue to put in FD that is giving you around 2%, okay, you will need to save monthly 9,900 ringgit, okay, on a monthly basis. But if you were to invest in EPF or ASB that is able to give you 5% return, that is going to invest, you need around 5.8 million. But if you put in stocks, you put in unit trust, robo-advisor, things like that, you will only need to invest around 2,600 per month. So you can also see here the impact of starting investing earlier. Okay, that actually starting investing earlier, then you need much lesser amount to reach your retirement goals. Now, some of you saying that, okay, I have my EPF, is it, do I need to worry still? Let's look at the next slide to see how much is it lah. Okay, so we take this example, 30 years old, you need 4.8 million. Now, assuming this fella is 30 years old, earning about 4,000 ringgit per month with 4% increment and dividend from EPF is about 5%. Currently, maybe he has about 40,000 after working for a few years. Now, with this means to say, right, when he reached 60 years old, he will only have around 2.1 million, but he needs to spend 4.8 million. So what does it mean? It means that to say that his EPF can only last him for 8 years, which means to say either he have to downgrade his lifestyle, he can no longer spend 10,000 ringgit a month when he retire, or he will need to extend his retirement years. Okay, it means to say he will need to continue to work beyond the age of 60 years old. So let's say you're telling me that, oh, okay, this is 4,000 ringgit per month. I am a high income earner. You might be earning about 8,000 ringgit per month. Still, if you can see here, if you continue to rely on EPF only, you will only around have 3.6 million. Okay, and for you to do that, for you to reach spend 10,000 ringgit per month, okay, your fund will only able to last you until you reach 74 years old. So this is again the importance of investing and not just rely on your EPF. You should start investing small amount first, okay? I know everyone is very, very afraid to start investing because of the volatility, things like that. But actually, if you do not even invest, okay, then this would be the consequences where you might need to rely on your children or your spouse for retirement, or you need to downgrade your lifestyle, or you need to extend your retirement age. So this is why it is important for you to invest. But before you even invest, there is some checklist before you even start investing. First thing first, it's important that you need to set SMART goals. What does it mean by SMART goals? SMART goal is that your goal, let's say you want to buy a house. Okay, let's just take an example, a simple one. You want to buy a car. This car is 50,000. So you say, okay, I want to buy a 50,000 car in the next 2 years time. So 50,000 car means to say you need to put 10% down payment, correct? So you need to save 5,000 within this 2 years period. So this is example of a SMART goal where it is very specific. What is it for? Why is it for? And then also how much is it? Okay, it needs to be measurable, like how long you want to achieve it, then also how much you want to save and things like that. It must be attainable, means to say if you are earning about 3,000 ringgit, don't tell me that, okay, I want to buy a Rolls Royce. Okay, this is not attainable within your budget, within your resources. It is not relevant. Must be relevant to your resources. And last but not least, it must be time bound, means to say you need to set a timeline for your goal so that you will be able to understand how long for you to reach your goal, and also whether you are on track or not. You'll be able to track it according to the amount that you want to save and also the timeline. Okay, that is the first thing lah. Okay, so for this one, right, for you can also need to understand that you will need to have sufficient emergency fund before you even invest. So it is important that you need to have at least 6 months of your expenses saved as emergency fund. Okay, so maybe perhaps we can do some engagement over here. Any of you actually, okay, if you have emergency fund, where do you park your emergency fund? Okay, can you type in the chat box, where do you park your emergency fund? Do you park it in your fixed deposit account, your savings account, or your ASB, things like that? So I see somebody saying ASB, ASB account, and someone says savings account. Okay, savings account. So for those that have access to ASB account, that is actually the best options for you. But one thing bear in mind is that ASB account, if you want to withdraw more than 1,000 ringgit, you will need to go to the counter itself. So it's not exactly ideal. So I would suggest that you can put 3 months of your emergency funds in savings in ASB, another 3 months in Tabung Haji, because at least Tabung Haji can give you 3 to 4% return as well. So most of you say savings account, but also you have to understand, savings account don't give you a lot of returns. Okay, and somebody says here they put in fixed deposit as well. Fixed deposit, they are able to give you like 3% returns, but they have a lock-in period. So you have to understand, emergency, right, means to say things that will happen anytime. You don't know when it will happen. So you would want to take out, you would want to park an emergency fund at a place that is liquid enough for you to withdraw, and at the same time you can still you can still enjoy the interest that the bank gives. So of course, banks, they fixed deposit, they will either have a 1 month thing or 2 month thing, but then again you are being locked in. Some people will lock in for like 1 year as well, so that's actually a too long period. You can consider actually Versa. Perhaps I can just show you over here. Versa Cash. So Versa Cash is also something applicable that you can consider to park your emergency fund. Okay, they can give you like 4% return, but 4% return, this one is actually applicable for the first 30,000, and then the rest of it, I think it's around 2.75%. So you can withdraw your money anytime. There's no sales fee, there's no withdrawal fees. You can consider to do that, or maybe Stash Away Simple as well. You can consider to park your emergency fund there, where it's able to give you around 3% per annum lah. So this one you can withdraw anytime, and the returns that you get is actually prorated. Now, somebody is asking, is Versa insured by PIDM? The answer is no, it is not insured by PIDM. Okay, but then again, because Stash Away and also Versa, they have a trust account. Okay, there's a trust account, so anything happen if they go bankrupt, okay, then at least, okay, you will be able to, your money will be under this trust account and it is being safeguarded lah. Similar with your Touch and Go Gold Plus at one as well, that is actually a CIMB one. Versa is actually Affin Hwang, and then also Stashaway Simple, if I'm not mistaken, is actually from M-Bank. So they are still investing in banks lah. So that kind of give you a bit of safeguard as well. So I myself, I put my money inside there because if you were talking about worry about PIDM or not, of course, somehow it will be slightly worried, but then you are just putting 6 months of your emergency fund inside there. So that way, your exposure wouldn't be that high. So that's how I take it. Like, at least I can get some form of returns. Okay, so this is my take for emergency fund. And also, before you start investing, you should then pay off your high interest loan, especially if your credit cards, those things that you need to pay it off as soon as possible lah, okay, before you even invest. And to ensure that you have a healthy cash flow. Don't tell me that, oh, you are actually every month negative cash flow and then you want to start investing. That is actually very dangerous to do so. You will need to have a buffer for yourself lah, so that you can take necessary risk and also get yourself covered, okay, with insurance and Takaful protection. Okay, Sandra say that how to start with opening a Versa cash account. So Versa cash account, if I'm not mistaken, you actually need to download their app, and you can do it everything straight away from the app. It's something simple. So someone said Versa should have M-Bank or can use for another bank. No, basically whatever bank they can accept. But Versa, they are investing in Affin Hwang investment funds. That is why this is how they invest. They are investing in money market funds. So Versa, they will buy Affin Hwang investment funds for you. Okay, so that way they can actually get the returns for you. So you can use any banks to do so. Okay, you don't have to specifically for a single bank. Okay, now let's move on to the next one. We talk about some investment options in Malaysia. Okay, Malaysia, there's plenty of investments out there, but I'm going to share with you only some of the ones that is more mainstream one lah, or people actually know about it, like your unit trust, your robo-advisor ETF, that is some common ones. Gold investment, I'm pretty sure everyone here knows about it. Property investments as well. And then also fixed deposit. Some of you are investing in fixed deposit. And then cryptocurrency. And last but not least, we are going to talk about shares and as well as stocks, equity investments. Okay, so these are all, how do I say, some investments options available in the market. Okay, so I'm not saying that, oh, this is bad or this is good, but I'm going to share with you specifically only on stocks today, because this is basically the agenda for today lah. Okay, so equity investments. But before that, let me show you some statistics. According to a research, okay, women are actually becoming increasingly engaged in their investing activities. Okay, according to Bursa Malaysia, in 2022, as of March 2022, there's increase of 36% of new CDS accounts, okay, as compared to last year. Every year has been on an increasing trend. Okay, in addition to that, female investors made up to close to 30% of the total traded value in 2021, with a 178% increase in total traded value. And this is actually a remarkable scenario, actually improvement in Malaysia market. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. And what is actually equity investment? Okay, so what is it really means? Like, essentially, it means that you give some money to a company in returns for a small ownership of the company. So this is something that I always joke around, is that, oh, I buy Maybank stocks. Okay, I own a small piece of a toilet tiles in Maybank. Okay, just joke aside. Basically, you own a part of the company. So you are investing in the company and you see future in this company. So you can make return either two ways. When the company price go up, okay, where the sentiment of the market is going up, where they think that, okay, this company is growing, so people started buying it. So in the long term wise, you will be able to make money when the stock price go up and you get capital gain. Or the other way is that, okay, the company is big enough already. Like let's say Syntex, Maybank, they are a big company that they don't need to go for any more expansion, okay? Or they even have enough money for expansion, they will then declare dividend to the shareholders. So you can make money either from capital gain and or along with dividends that they give out. So dividends usually will be given out by big stable companies like blue chip companies. Now, most investors will consider equity as a growth asset. Why do I say so? Because they are quite volatile, mean they go up and down based on the information in the market. So, and they are also able to give you returns more than 8 to 9%. So, which is why most investors consider share or equity as a growth asset. Now, how do you buy it? You can buy it directly from a stock market via a securities dealing company. You can buy it through M Plus Online. You just need to open a CDS account, okay, and then you go to M Plus Online. They will then able to assist you on all these things. Then you can buy directly from them. Okay, or you can buy through equity unit trust or equity ETF as well. So that is also an option if you do not want to buy directly from the share market. But of course, okay, buying directly from the share market, you will be able to learn a lot, much more, which I will show you later on. Why do I say so? Okay, so let's look at the next one. So a lot of people and most of you will be asking that, is equity investment risky? Well, technically speaking, it is definitely riskier than bonds and fixed deposit. Okay, so because if let's say Maybank issue bonds and you are also issuing, you also own Maybank stocks, touch wood if Maybank go bankrupt, if you as a bond holder, okay, you will get paid first because bond is actually a debt that they have to pay. But then if let's say you hold Maybank stocks, that would be later on. You have to get paid as a bondholder first, then only you get paid in terms of equity. Now, a single stock can go to 0%, which is bankrupt and insolvent. Stocks like SCOME, Nationwide, or even Serber Dynamic, we have all heard of it. So these are the stocks that are listed under PN17 list, and usually these companies have financial difficulties. And you also need to understand, okay, equity markets will go through crashes. This is a very, very normal scenario, like what we are experiencing right now. This is not exactly crashes. It's more like it's not doing so well. This is a completely normal situation that every market should have. Okay, because not all market is just going to go up. No, it's not like that. They will go through some correction, but every time after they go through correction, they will always come back to be higher at an all-time level. For example, in 1997, the Asian financial crisis, KLCI index dropped to 260 points, but then eventually it bounced back in a few years' time. So again, when you want to invest in equity markets, things like that, you will need to understand the risk in it. You can't be expecting that, okay, I want to invest this stock, next tomorrow or next few days, I will be able to get some returns. Certain stocks maybe can, but then you shouldn't be going into the market with that mindset. Because for the past 10 years, if you look at the returns, for the past 10 years on an annual basis, equity can be able to give you around 8 to 12% per annum. So, but then again, this one, it is on a general basis. Okay, so if you want to buy stocks directly, there is actually a 7 golden rule that you will need to follow. Number one is that you need to think long term. Do not try to time the market. You should invest invest using fundamentals as well as technical charts. Don't only focus on technical charts. You need to combine both methods. Okay, and also number two, you need to look at the good companies. Okay, you need to go and do extensive research. When it comes to investment, buying stocks yourself, definitely you cannot rely on your father your mother your friends your husband. You need to go and do your own research. Study what does this company really do. Look at their financial statement. look at their management, what is their insight about the company. You need to understand how to read the balance sheet, the financial statement. All these things are actually indicator on how well this company is. And then learn how to look into earnings per share, the cost to income ratio. All these things must be taken into consideration when you invest yourself. And also, you will need to create a margin of safety. What does it mean? It means to say, right, now in the stock market, okay, you will need to find a stock that is undervalued. How do you know that whether it's undervalued or not? Of course, okay, you will need to understand the financial statement to look at the forecast of the returns and things like that, and see whether this company every month, every year they are earning good money. How come the stock price is not doing so well? Now is the best chance for you to buy, because you think that this stock now trading at 1 ringgit, supposedly based on the financial statement is supposed to be around 2 ringgit. Then means to say you have actually found a stock that has a margin of safety, where you are buying investment below the fair value of the investment, and always have a target price to sell when you are making money, and also when you are losing money. So this is actually some things that everyone should know. Try not to be too greedy. And also, you must always do your own homework. Do not rely solely on recommendation and whispers. This is definitely a big no-no. Always understand and do extensive homework, as we have already mentioned over here. And number 5 is that don't follow what other people say. If you know that this company, you do a research already, okay, this company is good, but then suddenly your friends say, this one not good one. Why like that? Oh, I heard from here, heard from there. If you have done your own homework and realize that actually financially speaking, this is really, really good, and then you need to stay calm and be rational. If your conviction of the stock is strong, then stick to your guns, okay, and believe the naysayers. And then rule number 6, don't put all your eggs in one basket, but don't have too many baskets either, okay? Don't over diversify. This is also a very dangerous move, because when you over diversify, means to say your focus, your attention to that specific stock also will be affected. Have lesser than around maybe 5 to 10 stocks at the maximum. Don't have anything more than that. Anything more than that is actually very difficult for you to monitor. Sometimes you might even forget that you have that stock. Okay, this is very common. And also, last but not least, okay, never ever stop learning. Equity market is considered one of the most efficient market. Any new material information will be reflected in the stock price. Remember, after election, so that actually changed the sentiment of the market, of the investor. Then after with the new election of prime minister, our stock price has been the stock price then reflected again based on the news. This is why you will need to always understand what is how the economy outlook, what is happening in the market right now. So these are the 7 golden rules when it comes to buying stocks directly. And then if you want to buy stocks from the Malaysian markets directly, you can always create a CDS account with Bursa Malaysia, okay, and set up a brokerage account with M+ Online with the lowest brokerage fee, and then do your own research, shortlist a few stocks, 20 to 30, okay, you like to purchase, and then narrow down to 10 to 20 with a margin of safety, and then set your goals for the portfolio. And then you can purchase it already, then monitor on a performance on a periodic basis. Okay, you need to monitor it, be it daily monthly quarterly. But for long-term blue chip stock, you don't have to look at it on a daily basis very, very tiring one. So on a monthly basis, you go in and check, okay, how is it like? Why is it like this? Oh, the stock price is not doing well. Is it because of some news in the market or things like that? If you think that, oh, okay, you can buy more and then to average down, you can do so. But again, need to do more research. And also liquidate the investment once your investment objective has been achieved. So these are some of the ways for you to buy from Malaysian market directly. And I would like to end this session with this slide saying that, okay, for investment, right, all of us, be it women or men, you will need to understand that it is actually not that difficult. you will need to have baby step first. Speak to someone. Of course, you might be worried how to do so. Try to read more, understand more. There's plenty of information in the market. There's also courses in the market where they will teach everyone how to look at the stock market, and then they will teach you some fundamentals of investments. So I would definitely encourage you to go and search for these kind of platforms and then understand actually how does people do it and things like that. And for women, okay, this is definitely investing, right? It's actually a signal that signifies that financial independence is actually just a matter of necessity. So every one of us would definitely need to start investing so that we were able to achieve financial independence and not rely on our other half. And I will end the slide here with a thank you note. And again, if you have any questions, please just type in a chat box and I will be more than willing to answer any questions relating to investments, share tradings, or even financial planning. I will stay here until 2 o'clock. Any questions, feel free to do so. If not, that will be end for today's session from me. Thank you very much. And thank you everyone for sitting here to listen for this 15-minute session. Thank you. And I'll pass the floor back. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Priscilla, for the very clear and brief explanations about investment. So let me share my screen. So we're going to begin the Q&A session. So if you guys have any question for Miss Priscilla, you can kindly write your question in full sentence, which is at the Q&A box.
Yeah, perhaps I can answer some of the questions over here. Somebody asked, okay, what is equity ETF? So equity ETF basically, let's say, I would assume everyone know KLCI, like top FBM KLCI 100, okay, or top 30. Top 30 means to say this one is an index lah. This is an index. Means to say there's a total of 30 stocks inside, top 30 companies under Bursa Malaysia, under FBN KLCI. So equity ETF basically means to say you are buying this total 30 of it in index fund. So, or another example, this company maybe, okay, we go for index fund of S&P 500. So this one is a Vanguard fund. They buy Vanguard S&P 500, which means to say they are trying to replicate the performance or the performance and also the stocks that is inside this S&P 500, or like what we say in FBN KLCI, the top 30 companies. So they are replicating by buying exactly this thing. They are buying the index fund. So that is basically what the gist of equity ETFs.
Okay, the next question is, are the slow and steady stock uptrend is a good stock?
Well, I wouldn't be able to answer this directly by saying that slow and steady stock is a good stock, because there is so many other factors that you will need to take into consideration. Why is it still slow and steady? Is it because of market sentiments, or it's going slowly, or is it because the price is too high, things like that. So you will need to look into the factors of their financial statement, with their valuation, their PE ratio, whether it makes sense or not. Then you will need to be able to define that it is a good stock or not. So you won't be able to just define whether it is a good one or not just by looking at the momentum of it. Okay.
Okay, next question from Parameswari. So if the stock value already picking up, is it okay to buy?
Similarly, again, my response for that is that you will definitely need to do research, but at least with stock value going up, picking up, like there's also a momentum, means to say people are investing in it, and that would be a good sign that actually this one, or people are buying it, oh, there must be something good going on. So you need to do research. Why is people buying it as well? Yeah.
Okay, next question from Miss Yen Yu Law. So it's a share trading account in Maybank, for example. same as a CDS account?
No, it is not the same. So definitely this one not the same as your share trading account.
Okay. Next question from Ms. Nurul Jannah. For retirement investment planning, are we supposed not to touch the money at all until retirement?
Well, you already say that it is for retirement planning. So you definitely need to have some discipline to not touch it at all unless it is really, really necessary. Because for my clients, when I tell them that, okay, you need to put in every month 600 ringgit for this investment, you are not supposed to touch it, because the moment you touch it, then it will impact your future value as well, might not be accurate anymore. So for retirement, I definitely suggest that don't touch it at all.
Okay, next question from Miss Emmy. How much do you recommend in percentage should we allocate for investment?
Once you have already settled your credit card loans, all these things, and also you have some sufficient emergency fund, I would say that for this allocation for investments, right, I myself, before I even spend all my money, every month I already tell myself that I need to invest at least 10%. At least 10% is what people recommend. But if you are able to invest more than 10%, who's stopping you? Nobody's stopping you. For me, right, when I have my increment, I don't increase my lifestyle. I increase my investment value. I mean, I put more money. So it's already actually depending on how you want to perceive it. Do you want to keep increasing your lifestyle, but you want to how do I say, sacrifice a bit of your investment? Because by putting more inside your investment, you will be able to retire earlier. So again, this is something that what you really, really want.
Okay, next question. Is it okay to buy blue chip stock like MB for a long-term investment for yearly dividends?
Yeah, and any what stocks?
Blue chip
Any
stock
blue chip
like
stocks?
TNB.
Like,
for a long-term investment, especially for yearly dividends,
I see.
annually dividends.
Oh, you want me to recommend some stocks for
Yeah, is it okay?
Technically speaking, I wouldn't, I'm not comfortable recommending. I mean, like, there are some stocks inside in market very how do I say, it's given that it is dividend, so you will need to go and see which one is giving dividend on a yearly basis. But again, my license, I'm not able to give advice on which stock to buy. Yeah.
Okay. Can you which your preferable? I mean, which investment option? Like gold or stock or unit trust or ASB especially for a starter.
Okay, for a starter, definitely, okay, on how I do it is that, okay, I have the knowledge, I want to go and learn about stock trading. So I go and understand, read up a lot of books, I go listen courses, things like that. Then I will go for stock investment. So for stock investment, again, this is something you might be new started investing. So I would suggest that you put some time and effort during weekends to study about it. And then also on the side, you will need to invest consistently, be it your ASB or your unit trust or things like that. You will need to go both ways to it as well. So perhaps for the stock trading, if you're just starting, baby steps, put in also a small amount first, then try out the other ones as well.
Okay, last question for you, Miss Priscilla. Is it you mind about it?
I don't mind.
All right. So how come if we invest in this one certain stock, but suddenly the stock price is going down, do we need to cut loss or we need to maintain for a long-term investment because the company is strong, has a strong financial growth?
Okay, so if like suddenly stock price is down, right, then you will need to go and find out why is it so. Is it because there is some not so good news about the company? Is it because of the reputation of the company? Because all this will in fact affect the sentiment of the investment as well. You definitely need to find out why is there a sudden stock price down. But if it's because of people suddenly, okay, start pandemic, they start to panic, they want to sell down the investment, then you see that, actually, they sell down the investment already, it's actually a good chance for you to buy because you realize that the financial growth is very, very strong. Then that would be an indication for you that, okay, this one you can then consider to put inside your portfolio as well.
All right, thank you so much, Ms. Priscilla Young, for attend all the questions given. Next, once again, I would like to promote one of our contests, which is you can win 800 ringgit. Please let me know that who wants to win 800 ringgit. Please type yes. So I know that you guys are interested.
I type yes, Ken.
Okay, no problem. It's open for all women out there. So if like you want to win 800 ringgit, it's very simple. First thing first, you need to create 1-minute video. So you need to talk about what inspired you to invest. Yeah, from Siti Azlita, a bit shy. No need to shy. We only you just need to ask your friend to like, and then maybe who knows, you can win. If you you can gather a lot of likes, you can get 800. By 800, you can do the investment. Very easy. So you need to upload your video on YouTube, and then you can send the URL video to Bursa Malaysia, engage@bursamarketplace.com. The deadline is 6 January 2023, 11:59 p.m. So your video will be published and presented on the page within 2 working days from the date received. On the date, when your video is already published, that time you can start marketing. You can ask most of your connection to like your video, and the top 5 video with the most like will each receive 800 ringgit each. So try and make sure, don't forget to join this contest. This contest is, you can use this money to start your investment journey. All right, next. So I would like to thank Ms. Priscilla Young for joining us, to joining us and give a sharing session to advocate all women out there to start investment, and also to help us to build our portfolio, to strengthen our portfolio in future. All right, thank you everyone. Hope you guys have a good day. Thank you, Ms. Priscilla.
Bye-bye.
See you again.
Thank you.